All right, well, thank you so much for trying to learn a little bit about all things DNA and RNA. All right, so hopefully you've taken some time to look at this slideshow. But yes, there's a picture of ATP synthase that's in the inner membrane of your mitochondria. Acid will diffuse across that membrane and cause this enzyme to make ATP, I guess. And really that's all part of cell respiration. That is a catabolic process. Yeah, remember cell respiration, here's that pathway picture that we've looked at. But yeah, just think about it, it's breaking down sugars systematically in the cytoplasm and in the mitochondria. Now, if we start to do anabolic reactions, we're going to use that energy that was made in the catabolic reactions for that to happen. So really, as we start looking at these pathways in our cell, yeah, I guess if we're not eating and breathing, you don't stay alive, so none of these anabolic pathways are possible. But yeah, just think of these energy molecules as leaving the mitochondria. And they are going to be used to make DNA and RNA. And those structures are built in the nucleus. Okay, so yeah, I think looking at this really helps. It's easy to see how ATP could be used to make RNA. If it's used to make DNA, it's really just called D-ATP. But yeah, it's just that sugar would be different if it was deoxyribose. There's no oxygen there. You can see the phosphate groups bonded together, our 5-sided pentose, and then our nitrogen base. So yeah, if we were, so what is adenosine in ATP? Adenosine is adenine and ribose. ATP is adenine, ribose, and phosphate. GTP would be guanine, would be the nitrogen base attached there. So, and once again, just be familiar with how to identify if the pentose is ribose or if it's deoxyribose. Look at carbon 2 right there. Okay. Yeah, so I think most people did pretty well looking at these. It's pretty straightforward looking at my pictures here. But yeah, just please try to remember here, catabolic reactions mean it's breaking down, and that happens automatically. We don't need any outside influence. Things that break down spontaneously break down automatically. All right, when we break down these things, we break down our food, we make carbon dioxide, we make water, you're always breathing those out. Really, as we break down protein, you make ammonia too, and we'll kind of look at how our body handles that. But yeah, we're going to, once we get through this central dogma, we're going to spend a few weeks just on proteins. Okay, where are we here? Slide. Yes, lipids, remember they're made of fatty acids. They break down into fatty acids. Carbohydrates, they're made of monomers of monosaccharides. They break down into monosaccharides. Proteins are made of amino acids. They break down into amino acids. There's pathways in your cells for all of these things to be converted to pyruvate. Remember, if you go into oxygen debt, it's going to reach an equilibrium with lactic acid or lactate. As long as you keep getting enough oxygen supplied, the pyruvate turns into acetyl-CoA. It may enter the Krebs cycle. But really, acetyl-CoA and these acetates really can also be used to build more things. And that's the whole thing, these anabolic pathways, you really are building things. And now to build this, it takes energy, and that energy comes from this breakdown of ATP. So as we study proteins, as we study enzymes, we'll do a few days or a couple days on thermodynamics. But yeah, really just to put it back together, it takes energy. That energy comes from the breakdown of ATP. But yeah, these are all the different things we're building in your cells all the time. And it's kind of interesting that that kind of broken up piece of sugar with an enzyme, acetyl-CoA, really can enter pathways to become all these different molecules. Now, really the ones that we're focusing on are nucleic acids, DNA, RNA, and protein. Those are the